Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Chelsea boss Frank Lampard says he is a big fan of Arsenal's £12 million man. Chelsea caretaker boss Frank Lampard has now said he is a big fan of Arsenal midfielder Jorginho. Lampard was speaking to the press ahead of tomorrow's London derby via Football London. Arsenal will know that Chelsea are no pushovers tomorrow despite their torrid form. Under Graham Potter, they could barely score a goal and was eventually relieved of his duties. Frank Lampard is back in charge and was quick to heap praise on Jorginho after his January move to Arsenal. The Gunners will be hoping they can extend Chelsea's losing streak to 6 games at the Emirates tomorrow. Asked about the Italian international in his pre-match press conference, Lampard said, "I like Georgie. He is a very good player, a good personality in the dressing room. If he plays, he is another good player in that squad." Jorginho made the switch from Chelsea to Arsenal for just £12 million on deadline day in January. When called upon, he filled in well for Thomas Partey and was involved in a crucial goal against Aston Villa. He is mainly been used off the bench recently and at times has struggled to make an impact. Frank Lampard's Chelsea is one team where Jorginho will know exactly how he and his Arsenal side should play. Mikel Arteta may choose to switch his team up tomorrow, having gone 4 games without a win. It could give Jorginho a chance to start against his old side, although Granit Xhaka's return to fitness makes that unlikely. His time at Arsenal may end up being short-lived, with reports suggesting he'd like to return to Italy. He's earned the respect of plenty of pundits during his short time at the club, but may end up leaving empty-handed at the end of the season. Callum Wilson offers his verdict on Arsenal ahead of Newcastle's fixture. Callum Wilson has been speaking about Arsenal as he prepares to face the Gunners with his informed Newcastle side. Wilson, once again, got on the score sheet as Newcastle came from behind to beat Southampton at home. Newcastle are close to cementing their spot in the top 4. Indeed, barring a minor miracle, the two should have sealed their place with just a few games remaining. Of course, the next test is Arsenal. The two top 4 clubs face off at St James Park next weekend, and speaking to the BBC, Wilson said his Newcastle side will be more than up for the game. He said, "I think they are a top team. We have played them already, and it was a tough game at their place. The atmosphere up here makes it difficult for teams. We have got to create that atmosphere, give the fans something to get up for." Wilson has been in fine form recently, with Alexander Isak also doing well, as the pair jostle to be the main number 9. The Gunners will know going into this game they need to win. Anything but 3 points in every game now is going to feel so deflating. Arsenal target Gabri Vega back to make it in the Premier League. Arsenal transfer target Gabri Vega has been back to make a big impact in the Premier League by former Brighton manager Oscar Garcia. A report from the Mail states that Arsenal, Newcastle, Tottenham, Liverpool and Manchester United want to sign the star. Real Madrid are also keen on the 20-year-old. At Celta Vigo, he has a buyout clause which is currently set at £35 million. Mano Sainz also reported that Vega dreams of playing in the Premier League via the Diario AS show. Agents are trying to court Vega and his family to represent the player as they feel a big move is on the horizon. With so many clubs circling for his signature, many are weighing in and commenting on the quality of Vega. Oscar Garcia managed him during their time together in the Celta Vigo academy setup. Garcia told the Mail, "I don't like to compare players, but there are some similarities with the players from other generations, such as Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard, in terms of the type of midfielder that he is. I think he is capable of adapting and being successful in any league, including the Premier League. He is capable of adapting to many in-match scenarios and possesses qualities that you don't often find in the modern game, particularly amongst young players." In 29 La Liga appearances, the attacking midfielder has 9 goals and 4 assists. This is a great tally for a midfielder who is only 20. The exciting talent will be one of the ongoing stories throughout the summer transfer window. Arsenal face a lot of good competition to sign him, but if they manage to get Vega, it would be a great coup. Aston Villa could now bid for £30 million Arsenal target this summer. Aston Villa are seriously considering a bid for Orkun Kokshu, with Unai Emery seemingly looking to beat Arsenal to the signature of the Feyenoord captain. That is according to a report from the Daily Mail, who suggests that the midfielder is starting to take notice of the work Emery has done at Aston Villa. Orkun Kokshu may well be on the move this summer. Reports have suggested that Arsenal are admirers of Kokshu, who could cost around £30 million, but it seems that the Gunners will have to battle with their former boss for his signature, and they may have their work cut out. According to the Daily Mirror, Villa are seriously considering a bid for Kokshu, and it's claimed that there is an increasing feeling that their progress under the Spaniard has caught the Turkey international's eye. You could understand if Kokshu decided to join Villa over Arsenal if the chance presents itself this summer. Obviously, the Gunners have spent the large majority of this campaign in contention for the Premier League title, and they may not be out of the running just yet, but the villains have made rapid progress since Emery replaced Steven Gerrard. They could be playing in Europe next year, and they may not be done yet. On paper, Kokshu will be weighing up which side can offer the pathway to a regular spot in the first team. Arsenal may make some significant changes to their midfield this summer. Jorginho seems to be a fairly short-term answer to their lack of depth in the middle of the park. Meanwhile, reports have suggested that Granit Xhaka could leave Arsenal at the end of the season. That may present Kokshu with an opportunity, but it seems that the chance to move to Villa Park does appeal to the 22-year-old right now. Journalist shares Mason Mount's stance on leaving Chelsea for Arsenal. Arsenal have been linked with a move to sign Chelsea midfielder Mason Mount this summer, and the Gunners could get their man. The Englishman will enter the final year of his contract at Stamford Bridge this July. As things stand, he is not even close to reaching an agreement with Chelsea over an extension, and that has made him a wanted man. Arsenal, Liverpool, and Newcastle have all been linked with a move to sign Mount this summer, but the North Londoners may just win the race. Arsenal are expected to be on the market for 2 new midfielders this summer. Declan Rice is widely expected to be one of them, and the West Ham United star would be an incredible signing for Mikel Arteta's side. What could be even better is if Arsenal went and signed Rice's best teammate Mount too. David Ornstein revealed recently that Arsenal are one of the clubs that like him, while The Telegraph reported last week that the Gunners are having internal talks about signing him. Now, Paul Brown has had his say, and the journalist claimed that Mount is considering a move to Arsenal, who have already qualified for next season's Champions League. He told Give Me Sport, "I'm pretty sure Mount is already considering a move to Arsenal. He knows the club that are interested in him. Arsenal are one of those. There are others who are a bit further down the line in terms of talks and what's been put on the table. I think Arsenal would be another attractive club for Mount." Arsenal are already short of options in the middle of the park, and a shock report last week claimed that the Gunners are willing to listen to offers for Granit Xhaka this summer. If the Swiss international is sold, that would leave the Gunners with even less options in midfield, which will not be ideal as they return to the Champions League next season. It looks like Arsenal will go all out to sign Rice this summer, and with Xhaka potentially leaving, Mount would be an excellent player to bring in too. He can score goals, create chances, and play in multiple positions. He is a phenomenal player, and if Arsenal can sign him, they should. Arsenal now want a 22-year-old who amazed Vieira with his leadership. Arsenal fans may be interested to know what Patrick Vieira has previously said about Mark Guéhi amid reports that the Gunners are now eyeing the Crystal Palace star. Mark Guéhi continues to attract admirers with his form for the Eagles. The 22-year-old is approaching 70 Premier League appearances in the early stages of his career, helping Roy Hodgson's man ensure that they will remain at English football's top table next year. But perhaps Mark Guéhi may get the chance to move on before too long. According to a report from The Sun this week, Arsenal are interested in the England international as they prepare for a major summer at the Emirates. Mikel Arteta's men have been the benchmark throughout the season, but it appears that they may just run out of steam at the final hurdle, and one of the moments which has cost them involved William Saliba picking up an injury that has ruled him out for several weeks now. Rob Holding has done fairly well since coming in, but he does not appear to be on the same level at Saliba, and with that, it's no surprise to see Arsenal target another defender. Guehi is on the wish list, and of course, one man who may be delighted to see him end up at the Emirates is Patrick Vieira, who was in charge when the defender arrived at Selhurst Park. Vieira often spoke glowingly about the youngster, but one comment perhaps stands out as he reflected on an error Guehi made last season, which saw a penalty given against Palace. Vieira was clear that the defender had the ability to bounce back quickly. He said, I don't need to speak to Mark about it. I think he is frustrated and he will learn from that. This is a player who needs to keep developing himself, and to learn, you have to go through those situations. But I am really pleased with the game that he had. I think Mark is growing as a player and as a person, and I was really impressed with his leadership in the squad since he arrived. Arsenal will not turn their nose up at adding more leaders. They have an extremely young squad with a 24-year-old Martin Odegaard captaining their ranks. Obviously, Guehi is incredibly young himself, but he has captained Palace on a number of occasions, and if Vieira deems you to be a really good leader, then there is definitely something to be excited about. Mikel Arteta wants a Premier League star signed as soon as season ends. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta wants the North London club to hold talks with Declan Rice as soon as the season ends in a bid to sign the West Ham star ahead of their Premier League rivals. The England international is set to leave the Hammers at the end of the season and will likely cost interested clubs over £100 million. Rice is one of the Premier League's most sought-after stars, and according to the Mirror, Arteta is increasingly confident he can land the West Ham midfielder. The Spanish coach will urge Arsenal to make an official approach once the season has ended so they can land the 24-year-old immediately upon the transfer window's opening. Rice is believed to want to stay in London and desires to play in the Champions League to box his Arsenal ticks. The Gunners have been the team linked with the England international the most, but other Premier League giants will certainly be in the race for the 24-year-old. Rice has proven to be one of the most exciting holding midfielders in world football, and many are interested to see how he develops with stronger players surrounding him. Arsenal given Paulo Dybala a chance ahead of busy summer transfer window. Arsenal have been offered the chance to sign Argentina star Paulo Dybala this summer, according to reports emerging today. 90-minute reports how Dybala is being touted around a number of Premier League clubs, and one of the clubs to get a call about his potential availability is Arsenal. It's claimed that Arsenal, along with the likes of Tottenham, Newcastle, and Chelsea, have all been sounded out by representatives of Dybala. The Argentinian is said to have a number of clauses in his contract which allow for a move to happen this summer. Dybala has enjoyed a fine season with Roma under Jose Mourinho. He has scored 16 goals and proven himself a fine acquisition since arriving from Juventus. However, he is often mentioned in summer transfer windows and has been linked with a move to England on more than one occasion. 90 Minute does claim that there are concerns among English clubs that Dybala doesn't fully fancy the Premier League, but with a good season behind him and the money on offer in England nowadays, Dybala could well be tempted to finally push for a move to the Premier League. While Paulo Dybala is a fine player in his own right, he is not quite hit the height some expected of him over the years. For Arsenal, signing a player like Dybala would come with a big risk attached right now. At 29, he isn't quite in the profile of player Mikel Arteta has gone for in the main. Granted, his experience might help. Arsenal should be looking at other players, and while Dybala's name appeals to some fans, there will be better options out there. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.